Hi, I'm John DeVore. Welcome to the channel. It is the second consecutive day of rain here in Brooklyn, which is such a good thing. All praise to the sky and water gods for collaborating to break this drought here in Brooklyn. It's been bad. I know people out west are laughing at our little mini drought here, but it's all relative, and it's nice to have rain here. So in my morning commute in the rain, I walked past something on the sidewalk that I have seen hundreds of times. It has been there for a couple of decades now, maybe not. Yes, I mean, it's been there for a very long time, many, many, many years. And I have sort of seen it as an artifact of a different time, of a time of significant threats and significant fear here in New York City. So after 9/11, after the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center in 2001, and then a few years later there was the terrorist bombings at the Boston Marathon, New York City decided to try out a new type of trash can. So New York City has public trash cans on the corners of sidewalks here and there. And one of the things that they were worried about, directly due to what happened in Boston during the marathon, is explosive devices being hidden in trash cans to then explode and cause great harm with the explosion itself, but also with shrapnel that would come flying out of the trash can. So New York City took a prototype idea, I believe from Israel, of a fortified trash can. And these fortified trash cans were massive, massive things. They were cylinder of reinforced concrete. So essentially, it was just a massively chunky cylinder of concrete with walls that were about a foot thick of heavily steel reinforced concrete. And the idea was that even if an explosive device was hidden in a trash can such as this, that cylinder would contain the explosive force and force it out the top and I guess out the bottom, saving people who were walking around, pedestrians and such, from whatever shrapnel would otherwise be flung sideways. One of them was installed along Vanderbilt Avenue along my commute in Brooklyn here. And I remember seeing it, and I remember what it made me feel. It didn't make me feel safer, for sure. It was a reminder that the U.S. had a legitimate threat of terrorism, of terroristic attacks from outside its borders and from inside its borders as well. But New York City abandoned that idea pretty quickly, I believe, and I believe also rightly, as the U.S. proved itself able to continue on as a free, open-minded and accepting society with enough transparency so that the risk of terrorism seemed to subside. I believe because of a degree of transparency, a degree of acceptance, a degree of openness in society, so that I think, number one, maybe it was less likely that terrorists would feel inclined to attack us. And number two, I think the openness of the society led to terrorist plots being foiled before they could be carried out. And this has happened many times since those dark days. But yet this reminder, this massive concrete reminder remains. Sometime it wasn't, and it really wasn't long, and I don't know if a car hit it or if a group of very strong people just tipped it over and rolled it, but it is no longer on its street corner. So not long after it was installed, I saw it rolled off the center of the sidewalk and kind of wedged into this corner on the sidewalk between a couple of walls. And there it remained for years and years and years. And a few days ago, as I walked past it, I saw that it had changed. It was gilded. and it was strangely beautiful. Someone had somehow painted it or gold leafed it and transformed this object of ugly militaristic fear into a strangely compelling juxtaposition of beauty and texture and materials. And it got me thinking quite a bit about what has been happening in this country that is undergoing great upheavals these days, these years. It's been years now. It's been a decade or so of significant upheaval. These are interesting times, and based on the results of elections, it's clear that a great many Americans are still living in fear. Fear of a crumbling economy, fear of America being a hellhole, some horrible hellhole with rampant inflation, when in reality the U.S. economy has been thriving in the past years, and not just the benchmarks of the stock exchanges, but also our inflation was lower than any other country in the developed world. Our unemployment is at record lows. It's true, obviously, I was paying over $5 a gallon for gas, but that was at the same time that companies like ExxonMobil were raking in record profits, and at the same time siphoning off billions of dollars of those profits towards shareholders and investors. What are the real causes here? This is the fear of this invasion of the body snatchers conspiracy to replace God-fearing white men with brown rapists and murderers? Is that the fear? Is it a fear of Jewish space lasers being used to manipulate hurricanes to attack specifically political enemies? Is that our fear? No, these are not real fears. The fear should be that we continue to re-elect grown adults who believe in these things. And that's not to discount the fear of these voters. That is demonstrably real. The fear is real. It's as real as any reality that any of us are feeling. I talk about this more in my video about audio measurements and things like that. But the latest science demonstrates that our minds, our beings, our consciousness is a continuous prediction machine that is creating a hallucination for us in order to survive in the world. It's an evolved system in all living creatures that deals with sensory inputs and controls our reality in a way that hopefully allows us to survive another day and hopefully to propagate our species. It's the same way porn only works because something deep inside our bodies believes that we are about to have this opportunity to pass on our genes, to propagate our species. These millions of fearful voters, their sensory inputs are overwhelmed with terrifying imagery. And this becomes their reality. Their moment-to-moment controlled hallucination is filled with terror. Of course, their reality is a terrifying reality. And it's real. Their reality is real. Just like my reality is real. Just like your reality is real. Just like Roxy's reality is real. Anyway, that's just something that I was thinking about in my morning commute. So I will leave you with the last two songs on one of the greatest albums to come out of the 80s. This is Soul to Soul's debut album, Maestro Jazzy Jeff and the magnificent and brilliant Karen Wheeler. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.
that's in the air. I'm down, take a look around. What's going down? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? Steady, are you ready? What's going on? Steady, are you ready? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Cold, fresh air, feel the melody that's in the air. Oh yeah. I'm down, take a look around. What is going on? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? Oh yeah. However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? Do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? I'm living at the top of the block. There's no one around. No, there's no anyone. I'll state my name, stay there. Look, it's hanging on the wall. Ever do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? Tell me what's going on. However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me? I wonder. However do you want me? However do you need me? However do you want me?
What is soul to soul? Well, we're a sound system, an amalgamation of good dance music. There's three of us from the north side and two from the east. And through our style, people just came to recognize us as the Funky Dreads. Well, trust has always meant a lot to all of us, for us to stay together, where one would make a decision and the rest would follow. I don't know, the way we thought, the way things should be, I guess the way things should go, soul to soul. I don't know, it took us a real long time to get things together, but hopefully we're on our way. Yeah, we started, clubs and so on. A little bit of pressure here and there, we had our ups and downs. For everyone who can remember the Africa Centre. center of the world. That gave us the idea to now make our own music, creating our own style here in London. The future, the future for Soul to Soul. A happy face, a funky bass for a loving race. Peace.